No one has more to lose on an NBA reboot than LeBron James. If or when the 2019-2020 NBA season gets back underway, there can be only one loser at season's end. LeBron James. Yep. Reports say there's a good chance that the NBA could restart its season in late July playing the remaining games at Disney World in Orlando. And it would more than likely just be a 16-team playoff format to crown this season's champion. If James isn't hoisting up that Larry O'Brien trophy when the dust settles on this pandemic-interrupted season, he will be the biggest loser. Clearly, it would be a lost opportunity, one LeBron can't afford now that he is this long in the tooth. Worse, it probably would have been his last chance of winning it all again. And that wouldn't be a good thing when you think about how this promising season has come undone for James. His Los Angeles Lakers, after stealing Anthony Davis from New Orleans, were rolling when the season stopped, but there's no guarantee they can return to that level. During the break, James was smashed by The Last Dance, Michael Jordan's documentary. Public opinion about who the GOAT is swung heavily MJ's way when Jordan's career was clearly put in context for misguided millennials. And lastly, there is a makeshift season to win with no wiggle room. There's no other circumstance in the league as dire as what the aging LeBron faces. Not Kawhi Leonard and the Los Angeles Clippers. Sure, they are contenders to win their first title. But they aren't going anywhere. They have a shot to still win even if it's not this season. In fact, they will be healthier and have more chemistry next season. Not Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Milwaukee Bucks. With the best record in the league, they are contenders, too. Again, there is no timetable, expiration date on this squad. This star and his team expect to get better and more experienced with time. And not the NBA as a whole. There's no other team that has to win this season or their window will close on them faster than the Lakers. Golden State is banged up and will regroup next season. Houston is in transition and could still figure it out with all that talent. Philadelphia is still young trying to make it work. James, on the other hand, must win this season by hook or crook. For sure, LBJ's championship biological clock is ticking tick. Tick, tick, and it's getting louder every day. And rightfully so. The last time we saw the 35-year-old LeBron, he was literally king of the world. His Lakers had just beaten the two teams, Bucks and Clippers, that stand in the way of LeBron winning his fourth championship, and narrowing the gap between him and Jordan's 6 rings. LeBron looked like he was already in postseason form. He had 37 points versus the Bucks. Against the Clips, he had 28 points, 9 assists and 7 rebounds. In winning those 2 games, the Lakers upped their record to 49-13, had won 13 of 15 and had finally beaten the Clippers for the first time in 3 tries this season. And while it looked like LeBron had as good a shot as anyone this season to win a title, it just might not be the case anymore. That was before the music stopped and the NBA dance floor came to a halt. Will the time off help or hurt LeBron in his 17th season? A reset could be a good thing for LBJ, who has a lot of miles logged. Then again, restarting a machine that was rolling isn't always easy for an older player. But the time off should help the Clips. Leonard and Paul George were both banged up. Those younger players have had ample time to shake off their injuries and be ready for a trophy run. And the Clippers, even hobbled earlier in the season, proved to be a tough matchup against the Lakers, winning the first 2 games they played. And there are a lot of ifs for next season and beyond. Can LeBron continue to play at this level in year 18? Will Anthony Davis sign long-term or bolt LA? Worst, the competition heats up in 2020-21. Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, in Brooklyn and healthy, will pose another threat next season. The Warriors, with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, will be healthy again in the West. And Giannis won't get weaker, just stronger and better. Worst, could he eventually bolt Milwaukee and join some super team? These are all the reasons why LeBron has to win the title this year, even if it winds up being a Mickey Mouse championship in Orlando. Markieff Morris says Lakers would sweep brother Marcus Morris and Clippers in playoffs. Markieff Morris is confident that the Lakers can beat his brother, Marcus Morris, and the Clippers in the playoffs. In what seems like a different lifetime now, the Lakers and Clippers were developing a nice little rivalry on the floor this season. The Clippers had gotten the better of their purple and gold-clad Staples Center co-tenants in the first 2 matchups, but in their, so far, penultimate game of the regular season, the Lakers managed to take a hard-fought win against Kawhi Leonard and co. Adding some chippiness to the matchup between the 2 teams is that both now possess a Morris twin on their roster, with the Clippers trading for Marcus at the deadline and the Lakers picking up Markieff off of the buyout market. With no games to play currently, that competition between the two brothers and their teams can only take place verbally, and Marcus and Markieff were more than happy to oblige in a video they did for Bleacher Report. Asked who would win in a Game 7 between the Lakers and Clippers, Marcus said that he would be realistic, and that the Clippers would win Game 7 in a blowout, leading Markieff to crack back, "Let me be realistic with mine too. Lakers in 4. As you can see, Markieff was smiling as he said this, so it may have just been a fun dig at his twin, but either way, this is the kind of stuff that this matchup needs. The Lakers and Clippers may not historically be rivals despite sharing a city, but little zings and exchanges like this can help lead to an organic friction on the floor. There are obviously far more important things in the world right now, but not getting to see the answer to the question Markieff and Marcus both answered play out on the floor would be a huge bummer. Hopefully the NBA is actually able to take the necessary precautions, make things as safe as possible for everyone, and let us see who the best team in Los Angeles really is, once and for all. 3 free agents that Lakers could pair with LeBron James after 2020. All 3 times LeBron James left for a new city in free agency, management has always made sure to construct a team around him that can compete for championships. Going into year 3 of the Lakers experiment in 2020-21, Lakers general manager Rob Pelinka will once again be tasked with putting together a winning roster around LeBron in order to stay in pole position out west. With that in mind, let's identify 3 guys that could enhance the Lake Show's title hopes in free agency. In his advancing age, teams that are built around LeBron need guys that are able to create their own shots. Out in Orlando over the past 6 seasons, Fournier has developed into that kind of player. Fournier will not be the first name jumping off the page when looking at free agents, but averaging close to 19 points per game on better than 40% from deep are numbers that could intrigue LA, which is a bit too light in the long-range shooting department. Number 1 Evan Fournier. In his advancing age, teams that are built around LeBron need guys that are able to create their own shots. Out in Orlando over the past 6 seasons, Fournier has developed into that kind of player. Fournier will not be the first name jumping off the page when looking at free agents, but averaging close to 19 points per game on better than 40% from deep are numbers that could intrigue LA, which is a bit too light in the long-range shooting department. Number 2 Danilo Gallinari. Similar to Fournier, Gallo can also create for himself off the bounce or spot up on the perimeter. What makes this fit even better is that he is 6'10". Gallinari made a name for himself out in OKC this past season, and could command a lot of money on the open market that the Thunder would not want to pay up. If LA can make the right moves to clear space, an underrated Gallinari-LeBron connection could realize itself. Number 3 Carmelo Anthony. Before going to Portland, it was rumored that Melo could be paired up with his draft classmate, Banana Boat Buddy earlier this season. Negotiations fell through, but Anthony will be a free agent once again when the season ends. Given that the duo has already played together in Olympics and has a deep connection off the court, LeBron and Melo could join forces at a bargain deal for LA next season that won't put them in a difficult position against the cap. Danny Green says the Lakers' role players will be crucial in the playoffs. Danny Green believes the role players of the Los Angeles Lakers will have a crucial role in the team's title run in the playoffs. Green said the role players will need to carry their weight and become dependable scoring options on any given night during the playoffs. We have a very deep team, a lot of depth, so guys like Kuz, Avery Bradley, myself, and KCP, we're going to need those 4 guys on our group to be able to have a good night at least one night each throughout the playoffs, Green said during his appearance on First Take via Christian Rivas of SB Nation. Skip Bayless on the Clippers beating the Lakers. Patrick Beverley made the King look like a court jester. The sports analyst recollected the game between the Lakers and Clippers which took place in December 2019. The Clippers earned a narrow victory 111-106. One of the biggest plays of the game was Patrick Beverley's block on LeBron James's attempted three-pointer with 3.4 seconds left to play and the Lakers trailing by 2 points. This play on Christmas Day was the play of the year for the upstart Clippers. Patrick Beverley made the King look like a court jester. This launched the Clippers into a mindset of "we can play with them," Bayless said on Undisputed. It is worth noting that the 2 Los Angeles sides could potentially meet in the NBA Finals if the league decides to reseed the playoffs, regardless of conferences. The Lakers and Clippers are expected to meet in the late stage of the playoffs even if the traditional playoff seeding is used. The 2 teams are highly expected to clash in the Western Conference Finals. Game highlights, including Beverly's 8 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, block on LeBron, 23 points, 9 rebounds, 10 assists. Lakers' Danny Green says LeBron James is the MVP of the NBA. Danny Green believes his teammate in the Los Angeles Lakers LeBron James is the MVP of the NBA. James and Giannis Antetokounmpo were considered the front-runners to win the award prior to the NBA suspension. Danny Green believes his teammate in the Los Angeles Lakers LeBron James is the MVP of the NBA. James and Giannis Antetokounmpo were considered the front-runners to win the award prior to the NBA suspension. We've got to have him because, mainly, he's our point guard, he's our facilitator, it starts with him. He's a mismatch problem all over the floor, and he's got to be able to read the pace of the game for us against certain teams. Like you said, he's got to be at his best, he's got to be healthy and play well. Not just him, AD, of course, too, is very crucial, but it definitely starts with him. He's our engine, he's the MVP of the league in my opinion, Green said during his appearance on First Take via Christian Rivas of SB Nation. Lakers Genie Bus.